When you first start learning ancient Greek, you have to memorize a really weird rule. When the subject is neuter and plural, the verb is singular, not plural. So you have to say things like the animals runs instead of the animals run. The reason ancient Greek does this is because it's a fossil of a time before ancient Greek, when Indo-European languages didn't have masculine, feminine, and neuter genders. The ancestor of ancient Greek and all the other Indo-European languages is called Proto-Indo-European, and it originally didn't have masculine, feminine, and neuter genders. It only distinguished between animate nouns and inanimate nouns. And one of the ways we know this is because the Hittite language also only differentiated between animate and inanimate nouns, and Hittite is part of the very first oldest branch of Indo-European languages to split off from the rest. It's so old that it split off before Indo-European ever developed masculine and feminine genders. The rest of Indo-European got its grammatical genders when a suffix that was originally used for abstract nouns, collective nouns, or picking out a member of a group started to become associated with feminine things. The suffix didn't originally mean feminine, but when it was used to create new nouns, those nouns often happened to refer to feminine things. This happened because culturally, most social roles defaulted to the masculine. It was only when you needed to clarify that the noun was referring to a woman that you needed to use this suffix, meaning the female one. This created a new class of words that frequently referred to feminine things. But you can tell that the suffix originally wasn't about gender at all, because there are many words in ancient Greek and Latin that look feminine but are actually masculine, like the Greek word nautes, meaning sailor. These words show the original function of that suffix. Nautes would have originally meant something like the sailing one. Later, articles and adjectives started to agree with that ending, and then other words that already ended in that sound started being treated the same way. And at this point, you have a fully fledged feminine grammatical gender. Since the feminine gender was carved out of the original animates group, masculine nouns weren't originally masculine per se, they were just everything that was left over after the feminine gender was carved out. That's why masculine gender is still the grammatical default, because it's a vestige of the original animate group. The inanimate group was then reinterpreted as neuter. So how's all this explain that weird rule in ancient Greek? Well, those neuter plurals weren't originally plural at all. They were a remnant of that original collective suffix. They're singular because they were originally collective or mass nouns, just like you would say the water is instead of the water are in English. Water is a mass noun. So ancient Greek still had vestiges of that old Proto-Indo-European suffix. If you're the type of person who enjoys learning about ancient Greek, you should definitely check out St. John's College, which gives students a classical education focused on the great books of history, where students even learn to read texts in the original Greek. They have campuses in Annapolis, Maryland, and Santa Fe, New Mexico, and they also offer graduate programs focusing on Sanskrit, classical Chinese, biblical Hebrew, and classical Arabic, with some graduate programs also available online. So if you're a budding classicist and you want to check them out, I've tagged them below.